show. Dennis Young, your host. This is the YouTube channel, and a real special guest tonight. I have John Vislocky. Is that how you pronounce it? Vislocky?
It's easy. Yeah, Vislocky. There you go.
So, and John Gannett, both from the band. How you pronounce it now again?
Mirthrandir.
Mirthrandir?
Mirthrandir. Yes. Mirthrandir.
So, anyway, guys, how'd you guys ever meet and start this band?
Yeah, you take it.
Okay. Well, we were both students at Berklee College of Music in Boston. And,
about that.
Yeah. That was in 72, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
We were just on the same in the same dorm hallway, and come to find out, I'm from Clark and he's from Ford's, New Jersey, and we just became friends. And at that point, he introduced me to some of the guys that were eventually Mirthrandir, going to turn into Mirthrandir.
And what kind of music have you listened to? Because from the record, it sounds like Gentle Giant a little bit, Genesis, a little bit of King Crimson, Zappa. What were you guys listening to?
Absolutely. We listened to all of those and more, Hatfield in the North, and some of the lesser-known bands, and PFM, and you know,
they were
and everything
great.
else in between. Really, all genres. But we were really taken with that music. That really changed things, especially ELP for me. That was
at that point in time, right, for sure. Coming out of Berklee, I was a little more jazz oriented. So at that particular point, I was listening to all the prog groups as well, but I was also listening to a lot of jazz, namely probably like Chick Corea, Freddie Hubbard, people of that ilk, if you will.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought there was such a great prog era from like Sgt. Pepper up to about, when punk started, but that era in the 70s that you were part of is just an amazing period.
Yeah, it really was.
We got in, we started the band in 73, and by the time the album came out in 76, it was kind of a little late in the game, I think, and there was no label interest or anything like that. So so we had to produced our own album at that point.
And did you get any distribution for it, as far as anybody wanting to pick it up to sell it, or?
Well, I think we sold. What did we sell, John? 100 copies, maybe?
Yeah, there's some local record stores that took it on, but it didn't do very well.
No,
I'm glad to hear that.
Our concerts did, but we did a few concerts, and
it really is very intricate. It's got so many great
sold
parts.
out.
Yeah. The concerts are.
And how'd you come up with the name? Go ahead.
Well, a friend of ours, actually, he was our first drummer, who lasted maybe 2 or 3 weeks, came up with the name Mirthrandir, taken from the trilogy, Tolkien's trilogy, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. We didn't really know too much about it, and I guess we probably misheard it as Mirthrandir instead of Mythrandir. And once we find out, we just kind of just kept it. We like the name. Oh,
great. Yeah, it's very, very unique, the name. And now, how long did it take you to come up with the songs? Because they're very intricate. I mean, were you guys the writers of the songs, or did everybody chip in to write the songs?
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, Al Romanelli was the main writer. He would come up with different themes, some that he had previous to the group, and then some that evolved as the group went on. He'd bring those into the studio that we were in, and we would go and put all those themes together, as a group. But he was it evolved out of what he would think of.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So primarily, I would say.
Right. Now, we were working on the stuff for over a year and a half before we could play our first gig. It took us a long, long time to to digest a lot of that music.
Okay. Wow. That is a long time. Well, I could see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
You know,
practiced.
It's very intricate. A lot of time changes.
We rehearsed 5 days a week too, so it was religious.
Oh, okay.
At that point in time.
It sounds it.
Yeah.
It sounds it. Everything's so tight, and you have very intricate time changes. And I like the trumpet on there too. That's very distinct.
Thank you.
Yeah, John did a great job with that. It was a nice bonus
now,
for us
did you
when
guys
John
play a lot
joined
of
the band.
shows during that period?
Well,
did you play out of the area or just in...
Well, we did three concert shows that we produced ourselves because nobody was interested at all. And it was at the time the Rowway Theater, which is now the Union County Arts Center, and that was in 1974. So what we had done, we had a loft in Rowway where we rehearsed, and we would get kids from the local schools to come in and just hear snippets of our music. We play for them, and lo and behold, we probably sold maybe 50 to 75 seats pre-sale. The place was sold out. 1,300 kids showed up on a Wednesday night in December.
Wow.
That was electric, and we just did it by word of mouth. Nobody knew who we really were at all. So we did the 3 concerts, and then we did a few club dates, and they were a mixed bag. We generally not well received, playing this stuff in rock clubs and a couple of disco type clubs too. But I don't know if you remember you're from Jersey. Do you remember Brothers 3 in Route 35? We used to play.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we used to play Thursday nights there, and we would draw a few people.
Yeah, no, we did well on those nights. I
Yes,
mean, there was
we
some
did.
other clubs that were, they'd look at us cross-eyed, but there we had the following would come in. There was a following.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, there was another band. I can't think of the name of it. I used to go to those clubs on 35. They used to play Gentle Giant songs. I can't remember the name of them, though. They were quite good. And
Don't know.
well, too bad you guys didn't hook up with like a major act, like a Gentle Giant or somebody to open up for. If you guys would have really, then you would have caught on maybe. But it's hard out there, the music business.
Well, that was certainly our hope, and we did see them at the Joint in the Woods. I don't know if you remember that club. That was up North Jersey, and Gentle Giant played there. There may have been 100 people in the club, and unfortunately, we didn't have the wherewithal to try to get it done.
Wow.
But it would have been cool.
That's a shame.
Right.
Well, Central Jersey, I just want to say, has been a hotbed. Go ahead.
It wasn't until in about 1990 that Syn-Phonic Records put it to CD.
Oh,
and
okay.
And that's when we started getting international recognition. And we have a lot of that right now. Just recently, we had to repress 500 albums, which sold out immediately, which is really kind of weird after all these years. But because of that CD and it being digital, it got us a European following. And
I could see that.
We're pretty highly acknowledged, actually, in Europe.
Well, thanks to the internet, that was a great help too. That was
right.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure. And I think you guys would be really big in Japan too, because the Japanese love this kind of music.
They do, and there was an article in.
I have a connection there for you guys. I'll give you after the show. And
sure, thank you.
Yeah,
because we'll take all we can get.
They're real musos over there.
Yeah.
They love all types of music over there.
Yeah, we actually have a pretty good Japanese following. I'm sorry. We actually have a pretty good Japanese following.
Yeah, Italy as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I could see that. Genesis were really big in Italy before they made it big here in the U.S. or even at their home, even before England.
Wow.
So that was kind of interesting to read their books about that. So I was going to say that Central Jersey had a real following of really progressive and even interesting musicians. David Rosenthal from Billy Joel, he went to J.P. Stevens High School, and so did David Bryan.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
In fact, David Bryan lived across the street from me.
Oh, really? He we've met a
Growing up.
couple of times. I
So,
was in a
it's a
band
small
called
world.
Yeah, it is a small band. I was in a band called Rivendell. We were a club band in the
Okay.
80s, kind of a popular band, and we did a benefit one night, and the band, the whole Bon Jovi band minus John, came up and played, and so David, you used my little keyboard rig, which was
How
really
about
nice.
that? He's a great guy. He's
Yeah,
always a good kid, and
yeah,
and he practiced really hard. He really
I'm sure.
put his time in,
He's a good player.
and like you guys did for your record. Now, is there a live some live music on this reissue? Did you guys
Yeah.
put any live extra bonus tracks?
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 live, maybe 3, Si?
I think there's 4.
4, number 6, 5, and Light of
Number
the
6,
Candle.
Light of the Candle. Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah, and that was
Yeah.
done at the Fox Theater in Woodbridge, the old Fox Theater in 1975. So that was taken from a 4-track
Oh,
recording.
okay.
Yeah, before the album, actually. Yeah.
That was before the album. Yeah, and that was a midnight show,
That's
which is
something.
another sellout. It was a wild night.
How about
Yeah,
that?
you can only imagine.
Now, is there any? I can't imagine that. Is there any video of that at all? I saw some clips from a later period, but I didn't see anything from that.
No.
That's too bad.
No.
There's video of the reunion stuff, but no.
Right. I was going to ask you about that. So you guys got together. What year was that? 2006 that you got together again?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. Yeah, 2005, and we started playing in 2006. And we did a few festivals. We did the Rosfest Festival in Pennsylvania, and then we did Baja Prague in Baja, Mexico, which was really a great night.
That must have been something.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Played with some good bands, Nectar and Marillion, and other really good bands. It was a really fun night for us. Then we played Chapel Hill, Prague Day, and a couple of others.
I can imagine.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then after that was it. After that, you didn't. Did you play later after that, or have you guys planned on maybe playing again, or is it?
Our last show was 2009. We played in Philadelphia at the North Star Bar, which was a pretty cool bar. They had a prog night, and that was our last show in 2009.
And then I know Prague House. Did you do anything with that? NJ Prague House?
Yeah, that was the first one we did once we had the reunion members lined up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I just spoke to Alan Benjamin, and he had a great band, Advent. They were really good too.
Yeah.
And,
he was with the lineup, our second lineup.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a really good guitarist from what I've saw on the video. Really good.
A complete musician. Yeah. Yeah. John Callahan and Alan Benjamin took over on the guitars when we did the remake of the band in the mid 2000s, and it was just an amazing job that they did. We actually had some of the original 24-track. There were actually 16-track tapes that we were able to give them individual parts to learn it, because it's, as you may have heard, the music's pretty dense, and they just nailed it very well. Yeah, they did an incredible job for us.
It's complex and dense. That's really well done. I mean, I was very impressed when I heard it. Wow, it's nice. You're a local band. I lived in Edison, so I wish I knew about you guys. But I graduated high school in 1976, so maybe I was a few years younger.
A few years, yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, it could be.
So yeah, because I saw Yes at Roosevelt Stadium. I think that was one of my first concerts.
Oh wow!
And that was.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was with Patrick Moraz. That was the last concert they did there. It was a stabbing outside, and that was it. So, but
that'll do it.
The way
Unfortunately,
it goes.
Yeah.
Yep. So now, what are you guys working on now? Are you still in bands? Are you, Simon? Are you still playing music?
Yeah, I'm playing a little bit. I mentioned earlier I was with a band called Rivendell, which is a pretty popular band, and we've been doing reunion shows We've been playing at Crossroads once a year, been doing a couple shows with them, which is great. Really a lot of fun. And I'm also working occasionally with Charlie from Rivendell and Andy Rubel from Flossie in a band called Jive Stock, and I play with them occasionally. So I keep my hands in it a little bit.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah.
John, are you doing any more music or?
Yeah. Now down here in South Carolina, I play with a group called the Shem Creek Boogie Band, where we play a mix of R&B and rock. Most of it is private stuff for the most part. Yacht clubs and festival type things down here. Once in a while, bars. And then just recently, I've been doing some recording with some guys that need vocals and trumpet on certain things. So, yeah, I stay busy.
That's good. I'm sure. Yeah, you got a really great high voice there. You could really hit those high notes.
Thank you. Not as much as I used to, but
yeah. Pretty damn close.
Very unique there too. Yeah, it was very unique. Well, guys, this has been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on, and you're adding to this whole broadcast of unique bands like yourself. And I'm so glad you came on, and I'll pass the word around, and send me links that you have that you want me to put in the description.
That'll be great. Thank you so much, Dennis.
Thank you, and thanks for coming on, and have a good day.
You too.
You too, man. Thanks again.
Thanks again.
Thanks again, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.